Welcome Libra to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 4th of September for the Sun or the Ascendant. Your ruler Venus has been retracing her steps over the previous 6 weeks, but on Monday goes direct. If your social situation or interacting with others has felt a little bit blunted of late, this is probably why. You may have felt more reflective in general about the people that you mix and mingle with. But Venus can also be about money, so if things haven't been hurtling forwards quite at the speed of light, that won't have helped either. So Venus direct, definitely a great thing. Ironically, Jupiter goes retrograde on the same day. They're actually going to be in contact with one another in a square for the whole of this week. That's really interesting too. But for you, Jupiter's retrograde is going to go on through to the end of December in your 8th house. The 8th house is very much to do with where we're most invested. Jupiter is a planet linked to faith, our higher purpose. It can be about luck, and of course it can be about commerce, particularly interactions on an international basis. But you know, despite the fact that Mercury is also in a retrograde, the two are really speaking to each other in a very potent way right at the start of this week. Don't underestimate what you're doing behind the scenes. You may not get your exact rewards at this precise moment. That progress can start to show itself from the time of the autumnal equinox. That's when the Sun will pass into your sign, join up with Mars. That's a very dynamic combination. So for now, be patient about what you're doing, the soundings you're taking, the effort that you're putting in to do research. If you're working in an institution where you're part of a bigger team, it may not be that you're necessarily getting words of praise, but what you're doing is incredibly valuable, and it's important to value our own input, even if we don't get those plaudits. Now, as the week goes on, there is a Mercury kazimi on Wednesday. This is very complex because in the 12th house, Mercury can be a little bit anxious. It can see us caught up with delving into the mysteries of life, but it can also see us wanting to really be very much in our own space, have quiet, peace and tranquility. But the combination with the Sun suggests that some kind of insight, a flash of inspiration, can show itself that helps you to understand much more an issue that's been very tender. You may feel that someone's not been very loyal, not been as supportive as they could be, but you can start to work it out and unpick it in a really positive way. Now, Wednesday also sees a quarter moon. Now, this occurs in your sister air sign of Gemini. But what this is going to do is amplify any sensitivities you're feeling. So although it could be a little bit uncomfortable at the heart of this week, in that you may be thinking very carefully or even discussing confidentially something that has been quite hurtful to you, you'll actually be able to gain a lot of understanding. It's almost like the High Priestess card in Tarot. You know, by stepping back, meditating, just letting all the energies just come down in your body, suddenly it will all start to fall into place. Maybe uncomfortable, but it can make sense. And then, as the Sun and Jupiter link fantastically well towards the end of this week, the things that you are doing behind the scenes could turn out to be, in time, to be tremendously fortunate for you. I just think this is a time of preparation, or dealing with the outcome of a situation that has been manifesting itself for some while, that's been making you unhappy. And it may be that someone hasn't been as supportive, reliable and trustworthy as you would like. And to be honest, you have experienced a lot of this over the last few years because of Pluto being in the 4th house. But what that's done is given you so much extra wisdom, but also an innate understanding of how people can be. And it's not always personal. Of course, it often feels personal. So this is a long journey that's been going on, and I think this is a culmination week. And because Jupiter is about knowledge, Mercury is about communication, but it can also be about our thinking, and the 12th house can be about where we seclude ourselves but just sort things out. So by the end of this week, I think you're going to end up feeling a lot wiser, a lot more insight, which is going to be hugely helpful to you going forwards. Now, I'd just like to remind you that you can watch your year 2024 deep dive forecast by clicking on the link beneath this video. And also, if you want to take advantage of my very special opportunity to order your year 2024 personal forecast now, based on your unique birth data, no two charts are the same, and you can get 30% off and your personal character analysis or life roadmap to gain a more intimate understanding of your life patterns, please see the link beneath this video too. Thank you.